All right, week 4 is in the books. On to week 5. Last week I went a whopping 13-2-1. Thank you, Packers and Cowboys. And I am pretty proud of that, I'm not gonna lie. But, after I had a really good week, I did poorly. So hopefully that doesn't happen again and I can do pretty well this week. Let's start with Thursday Night Football. We've got the San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams. Look, if you ask me, I think the Rams are a really good team this year. I think they have proved that time and time again. Matt Stafford, he's still just as good, man. He really is. Puka Nacua looks like the best receiver in the NFL right now. San Francisco, of course, suffering a tough loss last week against the Jaguars. Hopefully you can bounce back, but I'm going with the Rams in this one. It's at home, and in all honesty, I think the Rams are just a better overall team. They're a healthier team. I think that definitely plays a factor, especially with no Nick Bosa. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams. I trust their pass rush to get pressure, and I'm going with the Rams, and I'm sticking by it. Next, we've got a game in London, I believe. Morning game. I believe this one is in London. We've got the Vikings and the Browns. Vikings looked really bad for 3/4 of that game, but then the Steelers said, "Hey, you want the game? Take it. Take it." But the Vikings did not take. And as a result, they ended up getting charged with a loss. As for Cleveland, you faced Detroit, you got killed, end of story. Yeah, right now Joe Flacco doesn't look like the savior he was a few years back. I think the Vikings are going to win this game, mainly because I think they kind of have to keep pace with the tough division that they're in. The Bears are on a win streak. The Lions keep winning. I still think the Packers are really good. And, I think they have to win, so I think they're going to win. I trust Kevin O'Connell more than I trust Kevin Stefanski going up against his former team. But yeah, give me the Vikings here in this one. Carson Wentz, he's going to throw 2 touchdowns and a pick. That's my weekly hot take, I guess. Next, we've got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Indianapolis Colts. Raiders. You did so well last week. You played so well. The defense was great. Ashton Jeanty looked great. Unfortunately, most important position did not look great. Quarterback, Geno Smith. Buddy, what are you doing? You've looked not good so far this year. You're leading the league in interceptions. It's not good. You're a main reason for 2 of your team's losses already this season. If the Raiders want any chance to win this game, he's going to have to be efficient, and by that, I mean you can't turn the ball over. The Colts, tough loss last week against a really good Rams team. If Adonai Mitchell could catch or not hold, you probably win that game, but reality is 2020. You got to look past it. I think the Colts are going to win this game. I think they should win this game because the Raiders, not a good team. So give me the Colts. Moving on, we've got the New York Giants versus the New Orleans Saints. Jackson Dart, in his first career game, he didn't look like a world beater, but he looked pretty good. He put life into that offense. And as a result, the Giants get an upset win over the Chargers, something I certainly was not expecting. And then you have the Saints, who lost again. But they kept pace with the Bills after getting mauled by the Seahawks. But they kept pace with the Bills, and good for them on doing so. I'm going to go with the Saints in this one. I don't know why. It's just a feeling, man. It's being played at home. There's film on Jackson Dart now, so I think there's a possibility the Saints could steal this one here. Mainly because if they don't get a win soon, I don't really know where else they could possibly get one. Maybe the Panthers, maybe the Titans. But I think they're going to win this game. Hot take, I'm going with the Saints. New boy. Oh boy, I don't even know what to think of these two teams. We've got the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Jets. Cowboys, honestly, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the tie. I feel better about the Cowboys than I did, last week. I don't know how much that tells you because I didn't feel great about the Cowboys last week at all. But, I mean, the Cowboys, their offense looks really good right now, man. Even without CeeDee Lamb, they still put up 40 points on that Packers defense, which has looked good. And then the Jets, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys, oh man, does it ever get better for the Jets? Probably not. Probably not. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs or anything, but I didn't expect them to be this bad. Yeah, Dallas. I'm gonna have to go with Dallas. They're a better team right now. I'm sorry, New York. I cannot in good faith pick you guys right now. Moving on, we've got the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Texans! You gotta win! Good job! Proud of you. It was against the Brian Callahan-led team, but that's neither here nor there. You gotta win, that's what matters. And your defense, once again, still looks really good. And the Baltimore Ravens, you got killed. Thank you, Chiefs. Thank you. I appreciate that very greatly. Lamar Jackson, who knows what his status is? For context, I'm recording this Tuesday morning. So, I mean, status, I still don't know. He might be out for week 5. But whether he is or he isn't, I'm still going to go with the Ravens in this one. Just because it's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has absolutely dominated the Texans in the past. I suspect that'll be the same thing here. I trust the Ravens running game to get things going. God, who is their backup? Is it Cooper Rush? Is Cooper Rush their backup now? Oh, man, that's a name. Boy. Yeah, I'm still going to go with the Ravens, though. Even without Nnamdi Madubuike, even without Jackson, if he does play, if he doesn't play, going with the Ravens. Moving on, we've got the Denver Broncos versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos offense finally looked competent. They looked good. Granted, it was against the Cincy defense, but you take what you can get. And the defense looked very good. Again, Jake Browning, so not the hardest of competition there, but still encouraging to see. Broncos look good on Monday Night Football. As for the Eagles, they just keep on winning. You can say it looks ugly, but hey, they're winning games. People were saying this time last year, and look what happened. The Eagles ended up going on to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with the Eagles here in this one. Jalen Hurts, he may not have a good day again, but it doesn't matter. The Eagles keep winning. Saquon Barkley, he might feast in this game. If not, I trust the Eagles' defense. I do. And I don't know what to make of the Broncos right now. Against the quality teams they've played, they haven't looked great. Whether it's against Colts or the Chargers, they didn't look phenomenal. They could have won both those games, and they didn't. They could easily be 4-0 right now, but instead they're sitting at 2-2. And good teams win those close games, man. And the Broncos didn't. I'm not sold on the Broncos yet, so for that reason, I'm going with the Eagles. Next, we've got the Miami Dolphins versus the Carolina Panthers. Oh, man. I feel so bad for Tyreek Hill. That injury was tough to watch. If you haven't watched it, don't watch it. It was bad. I'm going to have to go with the Panthers in this one. I don't know why. I have a feeling about the Panthers this week. I think after a tough loss last week, they're going to be upset. I think Bryce Young is going to have a good game. I do. I think this game is going to be a shootout because both defenses are not good. So I think this will actually be a close game, a shootout, a high-scoring game. But I'm going to go with the Panthers to win it. They're at home. I trust their running backs. I like Chuba Hubbard a lot, even though he didn't get much going last week. But again, they were getting killed for that entire game. But I'm going with the Panthers. I'm sticking by it. I'll probably be wrong. Because every other week, the Panthers decide to put on they suck every other week. But I'm going with them anyways. Tennessee Titans versus Arizona Cardinals. Look, I said last week, wasn't going to pick the Titans until they fired Brian Callahan, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm not picking the Titans, I'm picking the Arizona Cardinals. Fire Brian Callahan, and then I'll consider picking you guys. Moving on, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Bucs in this one. Buccaneers' first 3 games were really close. They won at the last second. And then last week, in the first half, you're getting blown out. And then you're starting to come back in that game. Now, I would definitely feel differently about the Bucs if, they didn't start to come back in that game. But because they did, I have a bit more faith in them now. And that's why I'm going with them. Seahawks, you looked pretty decent for the most part on Thursday night against the Cardinals. But you did let the Cardinals almost win that game. You let them come back, and you nearly blew it. I'm going with the Bucs in this one. I think Baker Mayfield is going to have one heck of a game. I'm calling 4 touchdowns and a pick for him. That's what I'm calling. The Lions and the Bengals are the next game. Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes and tell me with a straight face that you can confidently pick the Bengals winning this game. I can't. You probably can't either. I'm going with the Lions. This game shouldn't be close, but it probably will be. Because why wouldn't it be? It's the NFL. It's stupid. This game is going to be close. No other reason other than the NFL is just stupid. So yeah, I'm going with the Lions. Moving on, we've got the Washington Commanders versus the LA Chargers. Woof. Rough game for the Commanders. I know the final score says it was close. Wasn't really that close if you ask me. I thought the Falcons kind of had a stranglehold on that game for most of it. We'll see if Jaden Daniels is healthy enough to play in this game. I'm not sure on his status yet because, as I said, I'm recording this on Tuesday morning. As for the Chargers, losing Joe Alt, that sucks. That really sucks. So now you're missing both your tackles, and you gotta adapt. And of course, you're coming off of a rough loss against the Giants. I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one, regardless of whether or not Jaden Daniels plays. I think the Chargers look like a better team right now. I think they have a better defense. And I think Herbert isn't going to make the mistakes he made last week. But I'm not going to lie. That kind of game is exactly why you can never trust the Chargers in the playoffs. Because they always do stuff like that against teams that don't do anything. But I'm just saying, it was a concerning loss for the Chargers. Next, we've got the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. I'm going with the Bills here in this one. Bills, their defense, although concerning, their offense is too good for it to not matter half the time. I mean, they've put up 30 points in every week so far. Patriots, they crushed the Panthers. I don't know what you want me to tell you. The Panthers, they're not exactly a force in the NFL. I'm going to go with the Bills. Going with the Bills. Not sure I could see this game being close, and I wouldn't ultimately be surprised if the Patriots ended up winning, just because, divisional games are always weird at times. But I'm going to go with the Bills here in this one. And last but not least, Monday Night Football, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with the upset. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, the Jacksonville Jaguars are really impressing me right now. They really are. Their offense, I mean, if that can get going, this could be a very fun team to watch. And on top of that, their defense looks really good. Who saw that coming? I think the Jaguars are going to win this game. The Chiefs' offense, although it looked better last week, it looked pretty good, actually. It's the Ravens' defense. The Ravens' defense is not good. It's not good. Zachary Orr is not the best, if you ask me. But as a Steeler fan, I hope you keep him for the rest of the time. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Jaguars here in this one. I'm going with the upset. It's being played at home. I have a feeling the Monday night crowd for the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to go absolutely berserk because the Jaguars never play on Monday Night Football. They never do. This is an anomaly for them. So I think the fans are going to go pretty rambunctious here. But those are my picks for the week. We'll see.